Here at Channel 4, we have received lots of letters asking about how David Ripoff is at the moment. And they ask, are we going to see David doing any Mexican reports? Well, as you know, David is under contract with Mr. Andy Hiscox, and as usual, Andy is keeping quiet about David's future. But we are lucky tonight because we have David Ripoff in the studio himself. Good evening, David.
Good evening, John.
David, not many people see you in a studio like this. They see you out on location. What's happened to your career in the last 2 or 3 months?
Well, I mean, it had to go quiet, unfortunately, when Andy went home on leave, being my script writer and, you know, he was in charge of me. And then we came up to Dried Up. I was home on leave as well. But now that I've come back, I'm all set to start off again. But of course, it's up to Andy when we start.
Do you find that the pressures of Mexico are really making it difficult for you to find time for locations?
It is a bit harder, you know, being up at Starlight Lounge. It's now with the younger crowd on, it's late nights, and I am appearing up there with Peter Storey, and we did do a number with Leslie John.
That's appearing in Cabaret?
In Cabaret with Leslie John, yes.
Okay. And David, are you a bit nostalgic about Mexico because in 1977 you made your first motion picture?
Well, Johnny, I'm still counting the days from Zihuatanejo, you know, when we did the water scene.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know about the famous Zihuatanejo scene, David and myself 3 years ago produced this motion picture, and the Zihuatanejo scene was very famous because it never got in the final reel. We had to scrap it. But anyway, so David, Andy, how is he at the moment? Is he?
Well, he's all right now. The last few days he's been suffering from the Montes, actually. But he's okay now, and I think he's getting down to script writing, and hopefully next week we might have something in the can for you.
Okay, David. Thanks for being in the studio. I know you're a very busy man with your cabaret appearances in the Starlight.
Yeah, we've got another number tonight actually with Jim Bennison. We've got the Muppet Shows on tonight.
Okay. So, well, thanks a lot. This has been David Ripoff for the first time in the studio, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of David on Channel 4 in the future.
My pleasure. Thank you.
This brings us to the end of the first Channel 4 news for the Mexican season, and there's a couple of little items I want to mention. Firstly, in the last Channel 4 program of Alaska, the officers' wardroom kindly gave my wife and myself 2 beautiful Waterford crystal glasses, and didn't really get much of a chance to thank the officers for this fine gift, so I take this opportunity too. The other thing is that my usual cameraman Malcolm Conley is on leave in England, and Mr. Stephen Walker is filling in for him. Stephen's just back from an extended tour of Europe and Canada, and although he's under a lot of pressure at work, he has kindly come down to the studio this afternoon and done an excellent job of being a cameraman. So this brings us to the end of the news. Thank you for watching, and we'll be on the air again in 2 weeks' time out of Los Angeles.